What's up, guys? Welcome to Bible and Bronzer. We're so excited to jump into it with you guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Today we're going to be showing you how to do this amazing makeup look. We're going to be talking about some things that I just was, thinking about, and we're going to be discussing it together. Let's jump into it.
So today we're going to be using Rihanna's Fenty Foundation, and it's number 150.
And we're going to be using this beauty blender, which is, actually this is not a beauty blender. This is some knockoff brand of a beauty blender.
Walgreens kind.
Oh, cold.
So we use this foundation literally all the time.
Beat it. Okay.
This is the worst beauty blender I've ever used.
You are beating up in my entire life.
How often do you do your makeup?
I do my makeup every day, pretty lightly, nothing like what we are about to do in this video. I mean, you're just trying to knock me out. So when I say this, you're gonna think, I've heard this a million times before, but I was reading about David and Goliath. Sometimes, you hear it all the time in Sunday school, and I'm pretty sure like everybody has heard the story before.
It was like a long time ago, so I feel like this is almost
True.
bringing it back.
Yeah, so like bring it back up. So like I was reading that, I literally just like opened my Bible and turned to that page, to that passage, and it was 1 Samuel chapter 7, verse 50 it says, no sword for David. And I started thinking about that, and when you think about the story of David and Goliath, you think that David's greatest challenge was Goliath, but really David had to overcome a ton of things. He had to overcome the fact that his family completely doubted him. I'm sure that we all can go back to a time where maybe we felt like our families didn't get us. Yeah, our friends didn't get us. The people around us, didn't understand us and our people group, and specifically though David's family. I started thinking, I was like, David had to overcome a lot of insecurity. And I think that we, again, can all think back to a time where we had to overcome these insecurities to face this battle and this trial that's been placed in our life that we have to deal with. And so I started thinking about that, and where it said, I started thinking about where he was standing as far as the pressure of having to, if he didn't defeat Goliath, of having to go out and try to defeat this man that was way bigger than he was. He was a giant. I mean, I can imagine going out and trying to beat someone who hated me, hated my people, and the pressure that was put on him by Saul, put on him by his society, by his family, and also he has to face trusting God. What's a time in your life where you, honest to God, felt like, I can't believe that this is happening, this is a terrible situation, God, how do I trust you?
Well, I think I could say the first one would definitely be this hurricane going on right now.
Yeah, hurricane Florence, girl.
On a real note, I think, a time that I had to trust God was probably the recent move that we just had. I was thinking, I'm leaving all my friends and home. It's a hard thing to do.
It's a big change. It's a big adjustment.
Yeah, so you just have to put all your trust in Him, and I mean, that's something that it's difficult to do, especially when people are watching you and expecting you to be great.
Yeah, perform. Things need to happen. You've made this big move. Things need to shift. Where's the shift?
So it's true, kind of like you were saying in David and Goliath. Not only was he worried about this big giant, but trusting God and people expecting him to do something.
Yeah, and the approval of his family, the approval of his social group in his town. So it's a very difficult thing.
So for little Miss Allie's eyebrows, we are going to be using the Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Blonde.
Please do these brows.
So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with underlining her brows to give it a little bit of dimension. And I just kind of blend it out, but I'm leaving the top, especially the inner corner of her brows, alone. Right now it's looking kind of ratchet, but we're going to take this spoolie. I'm going to use this little spoolie right here. And I'm going to start by lifting up her brow hairs, which is blending that Dip Brow pomade.
Pomade. It's a fun word.
I don't even know if that's the right way to pronounce it, but let's pray to God.
We might as well, because it's fun to say. I'm going to tell you guys something that you probably don't know about me. I got stung by a wasp the other day.
I got stung one time.
Right here on my thigh, my inner thigh. Your bee story doesn't compare to my wasp story.
Yes, it does. You know what I'm so ready for, though?
What?
Haunted houses.
Not me.
I am so ready for haunted houses. So, for her eyes, we are going to be using the new Jaclyn
Jesus.
Morphe palette, or palettes, I guess I should say.
My dad got it for me.
Dude, like...
Thank you, Jaclyn, for making such wonderful palettes for us.
We are going to be using first the shade Mugshot with a small blending brush. Come on, sit next to me.
And then after I got to thinking about all of the situations and things that David had to go through and that he had to overcome, I started thinking that really it just came down to him having to trust God.
Mm-hmm.
And so, like we talked about some things in our own lives that made it difficult to trust God, I realized that one thing is God has given us everything that we need to be able to walk through those battles and come out victorious in our lives that we go through. What happens a lot of times is that we allow our insecurities to get in the way, and we allow the pressure to get in the way, and we allow our doubts to get in the way, and so we want to take on the battle ourselves. Now, what if David would have walked in and said, God, I really think, like, even though, God was like, here, take this slingshot, take this stone and let me do the rest. What if he would have came and said, no, God, I really need this armor, I really need the sword, I need to do it this way because this is how you take on, somebody like this. This is how you take on giants. This is how we walk into our battles and God says, here, take this. I've given you the ability to overcome your securities and walk into your destiny. I've given you the ability to be able to overcome that brokenness. And I've looked and I've said, hey, God, I can't do this. All I know is I can't take on a giant with only a stone and a slingshot. I'm not going to be able to, not, get this person back for hurting me so bad. But God is saying, but I've given you, peace. David had to remember who he was in Christ in order to be able to overcome that.
So we're going to go into the shade Secret right here. It is a deep brown shade using the Morphe G24 brush, just kind of at her lash line and blending it upwards. We're going to be using the shade Lolly. I'm taking the Mario Badescu spray in cucumber, aloe, and green tea. And I'm going to be spraying this. I don't want to use this brush. Let's use a different one.
Wasted all that time.
Spraying with the cucumber spray. I'm going to be going into the Armed and Gorgeous palette. I'm only going to be using this shade right here, VIP. And then I'm going to go into Guilt Trip to give it more of a gold shimmer, but still keeping the pink tones. Lastly, for her eye look, I'm going into the shade Prowl.
So you're not just using one.
I really think that this eye look is super fun.
But now then I started thinking about what David did, and David trusted God. When Saul said, you need this armor, David said, no, I don't. I'm going to use the tools that God gave me. I'm going to use this stone and I'm going to use this slingshot no matter what other people think. And he got his stuff and he took on Goliath with it. And I realized that sometimes we take our own battles and we try to fight our battles with armor that doesn't fit us. God, I really want you to give me healing. I really want you to show the power of healing that I know you have, and I need your help.
I feel that a lot. I'm always like, please.
I need help.
Not only, just general negativity, but also, their regrets. I feel like people drag their regrets along, and that really stops them from the potential that they can have.
Or we say, I just feel like I'm never going to get out of this. So I'm asking God for healing, but my mouth isn't proclaiming positivity. It's not claiming my victory. And, I feel like that's what the enemy wants, is to keep us in that negative state so that we lose the battle.
So next we're going to be going into the Too Faced bronzer palette. This is Milk Chocolate in Solo. I don't really know, but this is what. So I'm going to be using my favorite brush. This is the Morphe Y7 brush from the Gilded Set or Gilded Set. Still don't know how to pronounce it, but.
Pretty much everything in my makeup bag is a Walgreens purchase. Look how wide your eyes. Have you ever noticed like the face that you make? I'm kind of like have this scared look.
Just kind of like do it really quick. I don't even know if my eyes.
So
we are going to be throwing it back and going to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit. This isn't the original. This is the Sun Dip palette. God, I haven't used this in forever. I love it because it has different shades for different skin tones, which a lot of palettes don't have. Just saying. We are going to be using the Real Techniques brush. I don't really know what this brush could be used for other than highlight. I think it's really good for highlight because it blends
like loose powder maybe?
Yeah, maybe loose powder. So I'm going to be using the shade Summer. Just kind of dabbing it into the skin, pressing pretty hard because I want it to, you know, kind of melt into her skin instead of being really, really patchy. Using Kylie Cosmetics Matte Liquid
Of course.
Lip. This is the shade Angel.
Angel.
I have not used this shade in forever. Me and Allie share makeup. That's just the truth.
do.
That's
Sorry.
the truth. Sister thing. Share each other's bacteria.
Ew. Okay. So I think that that's the main thing is that we remember who we are in Christ. We remember who God has called us to be. And that's how we're going to be able to take on that battle.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. We hope you enjoyed it. It was so much fun hanging out with my sis. And it was a really exciting first video of our new YouTube channel, Bronzer and Bible.
Yeah.
I hope that you enjoyed this makeup look. It's kind of, you know, getting out of summer into fall. I really love the tones on you. I think it looks really good.
I hope that all of you are encouraged. And sometimes we get down and out.
This was a little message for you guys. We hope you feel encouraged and feel loved. If you ever need any of us, I'll put both of our Instagrams below.
Comment, give us your questions, your concerns. Make sure you message us.
It's been real fun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.
Bye, guys. Bible and brother. Hey, Bible.
Hey guys.
Hey. I'm Allie. My double chin definitely showed.
Oh, okay. So I'm just putting that on the. off, James.
Okay.
Ding. That was weird. That was weird.